So there's new polling from CBS and YouGov from earlier this month, and it shows sort of the percentage of people who describe each party as X or Y. Let's pull that up. Here it is. Okay. The big one that jumped out, I think, to all of us, we were texting about this, was the weak. 64% think the Democratic Party is weak, and 43% said the same of Republicans. And then you move to the next one, extreme. 58% of people think Republicans are extreme, and 49% think Democratic Party is weak. Dan, this is not a great number. The weak percentage is not a great number for Dems. Right now, they are ahead, as you said, on immigration enforcement. Yes, the public is with them. But this, to me, suggests that they have more of a long-term problem when it comes to how they are viewed by the public.
Yeah, no, look, absolutely. I mean, this is a fundamental problem that we are seeing. I mean, this goes back to the word police. This goes back to the DEI stuff that we're seeing as kind of touchy-feely, that we're not willing to do the tough and the hard things necessary. Think about the border, right? All the times Joe Biden said that we couldn't, or he could not close the southern border, that he needed Congress. And Trump comes in and just says, I'm doing it. Trump has always focused from day one, going back to 2015, on being seen as strong and decisive and tough. Yeah. I think J.D. Vance is seen as strong and decisive and tough. I think it's some of why he uses the harsh language and he curses and he's very kind of snarky, because it gives that kind of alpha energy. I think for whoever our nominee is in 28, he or she is going to have to clear this bar. They're going to have to be seen as tough. I also think it's why you see people like Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer swearing a lot. I think that's a bad move. I think it looks, inauthentic. I think they actually look kind of clownish, not strong. But I think I know people in the party are aware of this image problem of being seen as kind of weak and namby-pambies.
So can I ask real quick, Kevin, can you throw that back up for a second?
But I'll also say, I think in the midterms right now, the country will say, I just want to add this quickly, Sean, Trump is strong. He's president. I'll take, a Congress that is not extreme, that is going to hold him accountable. I think in the midterms, this would be okay as a status quo, this poll. I think for 28, it's a problem.
Yeah. So two things that stand out for me on this. Looking at it in isolation is tough, right? In other words, if you just say who's weak or strong, but look at it from a party standpoint, right?
Yeah.
I would rather be less weak if that means that I'm, and own the extreme label. If I'm reasonable is basically a wash. Work is considered more strong and more effective. So if you look at of the 5 attributes, extreme, but I also don't know that I care about that much. I mean, I know that the middle might be like, oh my God, you're extreme, but it's not 70 or 80%. It's just over 50 and the Dems are at 52. So if that's the worst thing you can say when juxtaposing the two parties, I'd rather be a Republican right now than a Democrat. But this is the second thing. I think if they asked a follow-up question, do you, and broke it out, this is what Dan, I think, was touching on. I think this is Donald Trump. Like, he's strong. He's the guy that's out there fighting. I don't think, as I said earlier, I don't think that Republicans or anyone believes that the Senate is strong and fighting and effective. They're weak and pathetic. I mean, I just don't.
That's actually a great point, Sean. If you broke this out, Trump and the Republican Party.
This is Donald Trump. This is the proxy for him. He's strong. He's effective. The Republicans in Congress aren't. I mean, they're not doing anything. So I would actually, again, I'm not going to tell you guys how to run their polls, but I don't think that this is. I think this is sort of a proxy for the leaders of those parties. Yeah. And so that's where I think, again, if you really if I were a Hill Republican, I wouldn't take a lot of solace in this, because it's not you, it's him.